Recent reports suggest a U.S. airstrike against Syrian pro-government forces killed several hundred Russian mercenaries. One America's Kristian Rouz has more.
The doomsday clock moves even closer to midnight as a U.S. airstrike reportedly kills at least 200 Russian private military personnel in eastern Syria. The incident took place 5 miles east of the Euphrates River de-escalation zone in the late hours of February the 7th and was initially reported as a clash between the US-led coalition and Syrian government forces in the oil-rich Deir az-Zor region.
The attack that went last week on us from a pro-regime element. Now, in that one, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we were told there were no Russians. That was right off the deconfliction line. They said, not our people. We were perplexed. Some of you even asked why would the Russians not have control of others.
It has since been revealed almost the entire pro-Assad contingent consisted of Russian mercenaries from at least 2 private military companies, including the Wagner Group. PMC Wagner is similar to other private armies, such as Blackwater, now rebranded as Academy, and is known for its involvement in the war in Ukraine and last year's decisive offensive against ISIS in Syria.
There is now reporting in the press, I don't have any reporting, that some Russian, non-Russian Federation soldiers, but Russian contractors were among the casualties. I can't give you anything on that.
Russian sources say the Assad government hired Wagner Group to guard energy assets in exchange for oil concessions to Russia, and the recent incident was a result of an attempted Russian takeover of a coalition-controlled oil refinery.
I'm not going to speculate on the composition of those aggressors, but I will tell you that we were in regular contact with the Russians. The deconfliction line worked, and we always reserve the right to self-defense.
US officials were baffled by the incident, as it turned out it was not the Syrian army or militia hit by the airstrike. Following the incident, the Kremlin said it is unaware of its private military's activity in Syria and that the operation was not authorized by the Kremlin or Russia's defense ministry. However, Russian officials also expressed their frustration with the incident.
That's very regrettable. We will raise that issue. We will ask them what happened during today's consultations. We would like to see a ceasefire and the end of war in Syria, but the terrorists, I'm not sure they are in agreement with what the US is proposing.
The incident produced a political crisis in Russia, with one of the most fervent advocates for Russia's military involvement in Syria, Senator Franz Klintsevich, stepping down from the Russian Senate Defense and Security Committee. Russia's foreign minister also warned the US against trying to partition Syria along deconfliction lines.
In my opinion, the Americans act not in a way of patient agreement of common consent, but in a dangerous way with unilateral steps.
Experts say internal turmoil in the Kremlin might be a sign Russian officials are weighing reciprocal measures against the US-led coalition in Syria. Following last week's incident, a US drone reportedly hit a Russian tank in eastern Syria on February the 13th. These recent developments suggest a creeping escalation in Syria is gradually boiling over, bearing a threat of a global nuclear conflict. Kristian, Rouz, One American News.
We can use your help. Call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call today.